What if I told you the moment she walked away was the exact moment you began to win? I know. It didn't feel like that. Not at first. At first it felt like you got blindsided, like your soul got hit by a truck she didn't even bother to slow down. She dipped. Cold. Like you were nothing more than a phase, a placeholder. Maybe she moved on fast, posted the subtle digs, the cryptic quotes. She was playing emotional checkers, fast moves, short-sighted. But you're about to play chess. You're about to move in silence. Think 10 steps ahead. Let her believe she's winning while you build something far more dangerous than anger, discipline. Because here's the raw truth most people won't say out loud. Heartbreak isn't just emotional pain. It's an opening, a rupture, a clean cut that lets in the truth. You saw the version of her she wanted you to see. Now you see her for real. And more importantly, you see you, without the noise, without the fantasy. You're stripped bare. But that's where the game changes. That's where men are rebuilt. She thought you'd spiral. She counted on it. She expected the emotional outbursts, the late-night messages, the let's talk texts, the begging energy that strokes egos but drains souls. She was ready to feel powerful. But instead, you gave her nothing. Silence, stillness. Not because you didn't feel anything, but because you did, and you chose to control it. That's when the chess game begins, because you're not here to react. You're here to reset. This isn't about being petty. This isn't about revenge. This is about understanding a deeper law. The man who controls his emotions wins, every time. Because women aren't haunted by the ones who begged. They're haunted by the ones who vanished, the ones who got better, the ones who glowed up and never looked back. You want to live rent-free in her mind? Then stop trying to prove your worth. Start becoming it. This is the dark psychological shift. Emotional detachment, not bitterness. Strategic silence, not chaos. You don't argue. You don't chase. You observe. You rebuild. You evolve. While she's busy performing, you're becoming. And the day she realizes what she lost, it'll be too late. That's the checkmate she never saw coming. If you're done being the emotional punching bag, if you're ready to take back control, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I release what I cannot control. Now, let's begin. Number 1. The pain is real, but so are you. Let's not lie to ourselves. The pain hits different when it's someone you actually gave a damn about, when you opened up, when you dropped the walls, let her in, believed the words. This wasn't just some casual thing. This was real, for you. And when she walked away like it meant nothing, that cut deep. But here's the truth that Stoicism teaches us. Pain is part of the human experience. You don't run from it. You face it, you sit with it, you own it. Because that pain, it's not weakness. It's proof you showed up with your heart, and that makes you real in a world full of masks. Here's the trap most men fall into. They try to numb it, they distract, they rebound, they fake the "I'm good" energy. But what you avoid, you never heal. And what you never heal, you repeat. The dark psychology of detachment isn't about pretending it didn't hurt. It's about using that pain to fuel a transformation so deep, so solid, she wouldn't even recognize the man standing in front of her now. The only way out is through. But once you come out the other side, you're bulletproof. You're not the broken one anymore. You're the one who felt everything and kept walking. She thought she left you shattered. She thought you'd fall apart. And maybe for a moment, you did. But you didn't stay there. That's what matters. You're standing up, not to get her back, but to get yourself back. She may have been the reason you fell, but you're the reason you rise. Pain is the price of growth. And brother, you just got the receipt. If you're done bleeding for someone who didn't value your heart, if you're ready to turn pain into power, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I honor the pain, but it does not define me. Number 2. Detachment is your superpower. Here's what most men never get taught. Real power isn't loud. It's quiet. It's calm. it's controlled, and nothing screams control louder than detachment. When she walked away, she expected a reaction, anger, desperation, a text at 2 a.m., a "can we talk" moment. She was ready for drama, because drama validates. It feeds the ego. But silence? That hits different. Silence is unsettling. Silence is strength. You don't have to hate her. You don't have to get petty. But you do have to detach, not just from her, but from the outcome, from the fantasy, from the version of her you built in your mind. That version wasn't real. She proved that. And now, you don't chase ghosts. You reclaim your energy. Because when you detach, you stop orbiting around someone else's emotional gravity and you create your own. That's when they feel it. That's when the shift happens. See, dark psychology isn't manipulation. It's understanding human nature. People value what they have to earn, what's scarce, what's not begging for their attention. When you pull back, she starts to question, starts to wonder, starts to feel what you felt. And that's when the power flips. But the truth is, you're not doing it for her. You're doing it for you, because you can't heal in the same space you got broken. Detachment is your boundary. It's your reset button. It's you saying, I'm not available for this version of myself anymore. You're not cold. You're clear. You're not bitter. You're better. And once you stop trying to control everything, you start to control yourself. That's what Stoicism is. That's what makes you untouchable. She thought walking away would break you. What she didn't know is that it set you free. If you're done begging for closure and ready to become untouchable, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I own my peace, not the outcome. Number 3, reverse the chase. Here's the harsh truth. The more you chase, the faster she runs. That's human psychology. People crave what pulls away, not what clings. When she walked, maybe your first instinct was to follow, to explain, to fix, to prove your worth. But that only confirmed her power. The more you reached, the smaller you looked. But here's where everything shifts. You stop chasing, you flip the script, you reverse the dynamic. Let her feel your absence. Let her feel the silence. Let her feel the weight of what she walked away from. Because here's the thing. You can't miss what never leaves. But when you disappear from her life, emotionally and physically, that void starts to speak. It whispers louder than any message you could send. You stop showing up in her DMs and start showing up in her mind. That's the move. That's the chess play. This isn't about playing games. This is about understanding value. And when something is always available, it gets taken for granted. But when it's gone, that's when people realize what they lost. By walking away, not in anger, but in silence, you shift the emotional energy. She no longer feels like the prize. Now she's chasing clarity, chasing answers, chasing you. The man who chases is seen as desperate. The man who lets go is seen as mysterious. And mystery, that's magnetic. That's what lingers. That's what haunts. She's waiting for a reaction. Don't give it to her. Give her distance. Give her doubt. Let her feel the absence of your presence, and let that be the loudest message you never sent. If you're done chasing what isn't chasing you, if you're ready to become the one that's missed, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I do not chase, I attract. Number 4, don't react, respond. She might poke, she might test the waters. A "how have you been" text, a random like on your story, a breadcrumb, and if you're still emotionally reactive, you'll bite, you'll take the bait, you'll slide right back into her game. Checkers, short-term emotions, impulsive moves, chasing temporary relief. But you're not playing that game anymore. You're playing chess, strategic, long game, no wasted moves. That means you don't react, you respond. And sometimes, the response is silence. Reacting is emotional, it's raw, it's what she expects. She wants to know she still has you, still owns space in your mind. But when you're stoic, when you've trained yourself to pause, breathe, and choose your next move, you become unpredictable, you become unreadable. That's where your power multiplies. Stoicism isn't about being emotionless. It's about controlling the flame, not letting it burn you down. She might say something that used to trigger you, maybe try to guilt you, maybe try to make you feel like you were the problem. And in the past, you would have fired back, defended yourself, pleaded your case, but now you just let it sit. You don't explain yourself to people who already made the choice to leave. You don't hand over emotional control to someone who mishandled it the first time. Responding doesn't mean you give her a reply. It means you make a move that serves you. Sometimes that's blocking, sometimes that's ignoring, sometimes it's just focusing harder on your grind. But the point is, you stay calm, you stay focused, you stay in control. And when she can't read you, she starts questioning herself. That's the mind game you win by doing nothing. If you're done letting your emotions control the board, if you're ready to play like a master, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I choose my moves, not my impulses. Number 5. Upgrade without announcement. You want to really shake her core? Don't tell her you're leveling up, just do it. Don't post about it. Don't talk about how much better you're getting. Just become so undeniably upgraded that when she sees you again, online or in person, she doesn't even recognize the man you are now. That's not revenge, that's evolution. Most people try to heal by broadcasting their growth. They want their ex to see the gym selfies, the motivational quotes, the fake smiles. But that's just noise. That's still tied to her. True power moves in silence. The Stoic way is quiet mastery. You improve without seeking validation. You grind in the dark. You put in the work when no one's clapping. Because when the results come, they speak loud enough on their own, and she will hear every word of it without you saying a damn thing. Dark psychology is about understanding the human mind. When someone sees you move on with peace, purpose, and power without needing to prove anything, it creates dissonance. She'll start wondering how you healed so fast. She'll start questioning what version of you she never got to see. That curiosity, that regret, it's louder than any message you could ever send. Level up physically, mentally, financially, spiritually, and do it all for you, not to win her back, not to make her jealous, but to become the kind of man who doesn't need to chase anyone. Because once you become that man, you don't care if she's watching or not. But the irony? She will be. They always are. If you're done seeking validation and ready to evolve in silence, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I grow in silence. I rise in power. Number 6. Rewrite the narrative. She left thinking you were broken. Maybe she even told herself a story to justify it. He wasn't enough. He was too emotional. He'll never change. That's how people cope with guilt. They twist the narrative to make themselves the hero. But here's your power move. Rewrite the damn story, not by arguing, not by explaining, but by becoming someone so locked in, so elevated, that the old version of you becomes unrecognizable. The past? That version of you died the moment she walked. That man, the one who overextended, over-explained, over-invested, is gone. What remains is someone sharper, quieter, more calculated. You've taken the pain, stripped it down, and rebuilt from the ground up. You don't need to prove her wrong. You just need to prove yourself right. Here's where Stoicism and dark psychology meet. You no longer live in reaction to what happened. You live by intention. You become the author of your own identity. No more letting someone else's opinion define your worth. No more replaying old memories. She doesn't get to be the main character in your story anymore. You do. When she sees you again, or hears about you, it won't add up. That's the part she won't understand. How did he become this? The answer: you stopped being what she expected. You stopped being predictable. You became the plot twist, and trust me, no one forgets the plot twist. If you're done living in someone else's version of you and ready to become the author of your own story, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I am not who I was. I'm who I choose to be. Number 7. Scarcity creates value. Here's a brutal truth. What's always available gets ignored. What's rare gets remembered. You want to raise your value in her mind? Don't be where she expects you. Don't be reachable. Don't be seen. Be scarce, not out of spite, but out of strategy, out of self-respect, out of a deep understanding that your time, energy, and presence are not free samples. They're earned. She got used to the idea that you'd always be there, answering, watching, reacting. That version of you was easy to overlook. But now, you disappear. You become a ghost, not to play games, but to reclaim your power. People only appreciate what they miss, and she can't miss you if you never leave her line of sight. Pull back, let silence speak, let absence create space for realization. This isn't about being dramatic. This is about restoring balance. You were too accessible, too emotionally available, too easy. Now you're focused, you're booked and busy, you're unreachable, not to punish, but to protect your energy. And as you rise, something shifts in her psychology. She starts to wonder, what's he doing? Who is he becoming? And why doesn't he need me anymore? That's the moment of power, when she realizes she's no longer part of your equation. Scarcity makes her see what she took for granted, makes her reflect, makes her question. You don't have to say a word. All you have to do is be gone. Let the space you leave behind do the heavy lifting. If you're done being easy to access and ready to raise your value by disappearing, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. My absence speaks louder than words. Number 8. Purpose over people. When a man is lost in someone else, he forgets who he is. You gave her energy, time, love, maybe even your peace. And for what? To be left drained and questioning your worth? That ends now. From this moment forward, you choose purpose over people. You stop pouring yourself into someone who couldn't hold you. You start pouring yourself into your mission, your craft, your evolution. Because here's the thing, when you lock in on your purpose, you become untouchable. You stop needing validation. You stop checking your phone, waiting for a message that probably won't come. You stop reacting to her mood swings, her silence, her mixed signals. Why? Because your mind is busy chasing something bigger than her attention, your own legacy. Stoicism teaches us to be anchored in what we control. You don't control her. You don't control her choices, her feelings, or her next move. But you do control how you show up every day. You control your discipline. You control your grind. And that focus, it separates the broken from the unstoppable. She'll notice the shift, the detachment, the absence of that needy energy. And at first, she might not get it. But as she watches you build, watching your life take shape without her in it, she will. That's when regret creeps in. Because nothing hits harder than realizing the man you left is now the man everyone wants. But that's not your concern anymore. You're not doing this for her. You're doing it because you finally woke up. You realized you were built for more than just being someone's option. You were built to create impact, to lead, to win. And when you start moving with purpose, you stop chasing people, because now they chase you. If you're done living for someone who left and ready to live for something that lasts, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I choose purpose, not people. Number 9. Let her regret alone. She made her choice. Let her live with it. No more rescuing, no more soft landings, no more being the emotional safety net she can run back to when things don't work out. If she gambled on your absence, let her feel the weight of that loss, alone. That's not cruelty, that's justice, that's balance. You don't return to what broke you. You don't offer closure to someone who burned the bridge and expected you to rebuild it. Let her sit with the silence. Let her wonder why you haven't reached out, why you didn't react, why you're not circling back like everyone else she walked away from. That confusion, that's regret being born, and it needs to happen without your help. See, real strength isn't in showing her how much you've changed. It's in no longer caring whether she sees it or not. You've outgrown the situation. The old you might have accepted breadcrumbs, might have opened the door again, might have tried to fix what was already dead. But this version of you? You're not looking back. You don't need her to see your glow up to validate it. You already know who you are, and that's enough. When she realizes what she lost, and make no mistake, she will, don't be there to soften the fall. Don't be the shoulder. Don't be the just friends guy. Let her sit in it. That's where the real transformation happens, not for her, but for you. Because the moment you stop trying to be remembered is the moment you become unforgettable. If you're done being someone's backup plan and ready to let them regret your absence in peace, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I do not return to what I've outgrown. Number 10. Stoic Until the End. This is where the game ends, and you win by not playing anymore. She might try to circle back. She might reach out when the attention fades, when her new distraction gets old, when she remembers your consistency, your loyalty, your presence. But by then, you're not there. Not because you hate her, not because you're bitter, but because you've mastered yourself. You've become stoic to the core. See, emotional discipline is the final level. It's not that you don't feel, you do, but you don't act on every feeling. You don't move based on impulse. You move with intention. You're calm, composed, unshaken. That's what haunts them the most. Not that you're angry, but that you're indifferent. Indifference is power. Indifference means closure was internal. You gave it to yourself. The man who's stoic until the end doesn't need revenge. He doesn't need a second chance. He doesn't need her to see his value. Why? Because he's not living to be seen anymore. He's living for himself. And that energy? That's the kind that draws people in. But by the time they realize it, you've already moved on to higher ground. She played checkers. You played chess. And now you walk off the board a different man, wiser, stronger, untouchable. You didn't just survive the loss, you converted it into discipline, into clarity, into self-respect. That's the Stoic blessing. You loved hard, you lost real, but you rose anyway. Quiet, unbothered, complete. If you're done revisiting old battles and ready to walk in quiet power, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I am calm, I am clear, I am free. So here you are, 10 moves deep into the transformation she never saw coming. You started as the heartbroken version of yourself, the one who got left behind, questioned his worth, maybe even begged for closure. But now, you've become the man who doesn't need to explain himself, the man who turned pain into power, silence into strength, and loss into a complete reset. She played checkers, fast, emotional, short-sighted. But you played chess, patient, strategic, unshakable. And in the end, you didn't just win the game. You left the board behind entirely. Understand this. Real strength isn't loud. It's not flexing. It's not chasing. It's walking away with your dignity intact and your focus sharper than ever. Stoicism taught you to control what you feel instead of being controlled by it. Dark psychology taught you to pull back, stay mysterious, and let them feel the void you leave behind. Together? That's lethal. She might regret it, she might come back, but that's not your concern anymore. You're no longer reacting to her story, you're writing your own, and it's not about proving her wrong, it's about proving yourself right. You are not broken, you are not bitter, you are rebuilt. Better, colder, calmer, clearer. And if any part of this hit your soul, if any part of this reminded you of who you really are, do one thing right now. Hit that like button. Subscribe. Turn on notifications so you never miss another move. And comment below, I rise because I refuse to fall again. This is Stoic Blessing. And you just made your next move.